Okay, I get it. You've been toughing it out for years. Nobody's offering any scorecards. It's difficult to know what exactly it is or what it means to be good. You're trying your best, but you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. If you feel like this isn't working anymore, this video is for you. I'd like to offer you some advice about how to become a good man. And when I say good, I don't mean angelic. So stick with me and I'll offer you some hints and tips. And let's get some stoic stack going. We live in confusing times, do we not, when it's difficult to know what exactly being good means anymore. Many of the good impulses you have may be actively torn apart and thrown in the bin in front of you. Many of the virtues and many of the qualities and principles that you were raised to apply are simply rejected or neglected. What we have to do is we have to answer the central question of what does it mean to be a good man? And we have to be able to satisfy that idea in our own minds. So let's have a look at some ideas. If you agree with me, comment and tick, like, subscribe. If you don't, well, don't. Most people consume without subscribing. I do it myself regularly with other channels, so I understand. But if you do get an opportunity to hit the bell, or hit a like, or make a comment, or subscribe, hey, there are 4 choices, 4 ways that you can make this old man happy. Because nobody will give you a scorecard at this time of your life. I don't know if you can remember the last time that somebody took you aside and said, wow, that was really good, thank you. In fact, it could be quite the opposite. You might find yourself being denigrated or rejected or criticized often. And if you're not criticized personally, you're criticized via some proxy, some oafish character in a TV advert or in a sitcom. Well, let's get past that. Let's get over that. And let's start reclaiming our own frame. And in order to reclaim a frame, I would suggest strongly that you start to eradicate past regrets. By all means, accept that you may have had affairs that blew up. You may have not been present at various times. You may have overlooked certain things in your life for which you have regrets. This is part of the territory, is it not? How can you live this long without having accumulated some regrets? You can't erase the past. You can, however, stop letting it dictate your future. What you need to do is you have to learn forgiveness. And forgiveness starts with yourself. First off, learn to forgive yourself and forgive others. This is not a form of weakness. This is a form of strength building. By learning to forgive, you're going to give yourself the rocket fuel you need to transport you into the next stage of your life, rather than being held down by invisible ropes. The second valuable step is to understand there's a difference between strength and toughness. Being tough is not the same as being strong. I'm reminded of an old story about a Japanese martial arts sensei who was in exile or contemplation, and it was snowing around him, and the snowfall was very heavy. And what he noticed was that the oak tree, which is often seen as the toughest, hardest and staunchest of trees, was breaking physically under the weight of the snow. The branches were snapping. The oak tree was riven. But the willow tree, which is considered soft and pliable and gentle, simply allowed the snow to roll off it. And come the thaw, the willow tree was intact, but the oak tree was destroyed. In essence, it means that you can turn up, and you can turn up like the willow, not the oak. You don't need to have an emotional outburst, or you don't have to bear the weight of everything. You can take those irritants, those petty situations, those silly emotions, and you can allow them to slide off you like snow off the willow. That is part of the essence of being good. And another key element of being good is allowing yourself to operate with discipline rather than with emotion. Because when motivation is gone, discipline is all that needs to be left. If you're relying on emotions and expecting all of your actions to have some kind of dramatic outcome, you're basically operating on fumes. But if you're using discipline and you're operating without expectation, without feeling, but you're looking for the outcome, then you're operating in a good way. Learn to accept that the emotion is not the outcome. Learn to accept that the outcome is the outcome. And what can be the greater outcome than your legacy? Now, the word legacy is an interesting one because it means what you leave behind, what people say of you. Now, the question you've got to ask yourself, is my legacy going to be an inspiration, or is it going to be a cautionary tale? Because ultimately, we all leave a legacy of some kind. The only question that you have to ask yourself is what form that legacy is going to take. So once you've grasped that, and once you get stuck into that idea, you can start to operate daily in a way which is going to create, build, compound in small incremental steps, a legacy that is brilliant. The kind of legacy that is going to have people talking about you after you have gone. I mean, in a positive way. I hope this has been useful to you. I'm talking really about gaining clarity over your life. Where I'm going with this is that if you set out an intention to be good, by definition, you have already taken that first valuable step. But being good is not endorsed necessarily. In fact, you may see people who are doing good things who are taking a lot of flack and a lot of criticism for so doing. But that's by the by. Forget the emotions, forget the feels, forget all this nonsense about being kind. Instead, think about your stack, think about your authority, think about how you can claim autonomy and self-direction over your life in incremental small steps on a daily basis. That, my friend, is what it means to be good. You may have reached a stage in your life where you're starting to wonder, what is the point of it all? What exactly does it mean to be a good man? It may be, you fucking know, can't you?